Staying in the hotel last night has turned out to be a superb idea. These things were saturated, and now they're not. The only downside was that the humidity in the room was about 800% last night with all the wet gear, so it was like sleeping in the rainforest, but all going well. The only tiny niggle, and this always happens when I'm in hotels or I'm travelling, they have put me miles from the bike. I'm 3 or 4 stories up and I'm a long walk. So the temptation, it's not a temptation, it's an absolute certainty. I'm going to do it in one trip by carrying as much of my stuff, well, all of my stuff, in one go. Except I can't now pick up the camera. Sun's back out, so I can get rid of the clear lens, put the funky one back in. Okay, there's a place called St Austwell. It was supposed to be nice and quite a little place. I was going to stop there and get something to eat, but I then got to Truro, which I knew was past that. I'd actually ridden straight through it and not even realised, except when I looked at the receipt from the supermarket that I had stopped in before Truro to buy memory cards, because I'd run out of memory cards. The supermarket had been St Austwell, so I stopped at St Austwell in a supermarket, didn't even realise it. My plan had been to visit this cute little place and benefit one of their local small businesses with my custom. Instead I just went to Asda and gave them 100 quid. So that didn't go to plan, but this view's cool. There are some destinations in the world, some places, some locations that are so amazing that no matter what the journey, the cost, the tedium, the duration, it's worth it just to get there. Land's End isn't one of those places. It's a kind of shopping arcade on the end of a peninsula. I drove in, I looked around, I ticked it off my list mentally. I didn't literally tick it off of a list, that'd be weird. And then split, went further on the coast, found a beautiful spot, took some photographs, that was quite nice. Had the roads been wet, cold, miserable, it would have been grim, but the roads were actually nice. It was a really sunny day. Had it been this hot yesterday or the day before, it would have been too hot for riding off-road. When I was in South Africa, I rode down to the Cape of Good Hope just because I thought it's the most southerly point, I should go and do it. Before the Wikipedia geeks tell me that's not the most southerly point I know, but it's the Cape of Good Hope. I did the same thing there. I rode down to it, rode around the car park and split. I just don't think I'm a peninsula sort of person. So, got up nice and early, Went to the beach, couldn't fly the drone. Marvellous. I am starting to think that if you throw your drone even inside a tank bag in a river, it might not work anymore. That could be a certainty. The drone say it doesn't work. But I'm now I'm back in Devon, and more trails, and even when they're not tricky technical trails, it's just stuff like this. I'm sure you could drive a car along here, but equally you wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. Not my car anyway. Maybe one of my kids' cars. Easy, Tiger. First section that I am bailing on. I came up here a bit too tentatively, not knowing what was up ahead. And it's these big stone steps, and I just didn't have enough speed, so my back wheel, every time it hits one of these steps, which are like ice, the tyre span up and I just lost more and more speed until eventually I didn't have enough speed to go forward. And then I walked it just to check out what I'd come up against, and it's really annoying because if I was with someone else, I can't even walk up here properly. If I was with somebody else, I'd definitely have a go. Even as I'm walking up here, everything's slipping. And then it finishes just up there. Coming down would be a doddle. Coming up in the dry would be okay. Coming up with somebody else, I would certainly have a go. The more I look at it, the more easily doable it seems. But I don't know, 4 days of riding, it's hard to tell how tired I am. I feel okay, but I cannot be as quick with my reflexes as I was on day one. I don't know. It's annoying. I just have a bad feeling. Never ignore your bad feelings. Beaten. So getting the bike out, rather annoyingly, there's no way I can turn it around. So I am going to use the clutch to control resistance on the back wheel and just reverse it all the way down. Thanks to my off-road skills BMW course, thank you Mr. Simon Pavey, turn it around on the hill and ride out. Feet up, and we are rolling. Ignition on, into second, bump start. Tree nearly took my head off. The drone appears toast. I've been looking on the internet and a lot of people suggesting stick it into a giant bag of dried rice. Equally, a lot of people suggesting that is an old wives' tale. It's largely academic. I am all out of giant bags of dried rice at the moment, so it's going to have to wait. Today was long and almost too much road. You can drive in a straight line on the motorway and you get tired after a while. In a car, on a bike, just corner after corner, having to potter around them to make sure no one was coming. It was the road work that just mentally exhausted me. And then consequently I started making mistakes when I got off the road because my brain was shot. Almost too much road, but not quite. Still a very good day. And thinking about it, are old wives really the best source of advice for modern electronic devices? Did old wives even have drones?